Welcome to Washoe Live, the podcast about life here in Washoe County. We talk to really cool people. We talk about really cool events. I'm your co-host, Nancy Lippenhagen.
And I'm Bethany Drysdale, and I'm so excited to welcome Denny Dotson, Executive Director of Hot August Nights, one of the coolest.
Could you tell we were at Hot August?
Right, you're here at HQ. Yeah, thank you, ladies, for the opportunity to visit a little bit.
Yeah.
And we are in HQ, and it's busy, so things are happening.
It is happening.
This is happening right now.
Yeah, Hot August Nights. I think it's just right around the corner. It's exciting. It's almost like Christmas morning for us car enthusiasts. That every year we look forward to the end of July. Things sort of start bubbling up, and August 1st.
Away you go.
Take
away
it
we go.
Let's just go for a little bit because I want to assume everyone knows exactly what Hot August Nights is. Legacy event here in Northern Nevada, and it's been going on for how long?
This will be our 39th year of classic cars and rock and roll, and it's a very unique event. A lot of folks we try to explain what Hot August Nights is, and it's not a car show. It's so much more than that. It's almost like its own destination, where we have all these different things. It doesn't matter, if it's an auction house, if it's cruising, if it's swap meet, drag races, show and shines, free headliner entertainment, big name brands. It's just it's an event that it's almost like you gotta have a vacation. You can't do it one day.
Yeah, and draws 500,000 people. Is that what I saw?
500,000 people. So you think about Nevada and all the big events in like Las Vegas, and they'll get 100,000 or maybe a couple hundred for a big convention like SEMA, but we're pushing 500,000 over 10 days with the folks that come here in Northern Nevada.
That's a pretty big impact to our economy, I would assume, as well.
It is. I'm sure it's well over $100 million or $150 million. But when you bring 6,000 cars, probably another several thousand that come in that aren't registered, they just want to come and hang out at here in Northern Nevada, which is awesome.
And I was reading online that it really didn't start as a car event. It was more music, kind of nostalgia, and the cars were a part of it. How did it grow to this?
I think it's just a perfect formula. People have asked me that before, is how has it evolved? And I think when you take all Americana, like classic cars, right, all the cars we grew up in, and then you add rock and roll or music and from different eras, and it's something we all can appreciate. We all have memories. We use the word ambassador a lot here. We're trying to build ambassadors, and it's just about everybody you talk to has had that story of growing up with their grandpa in their pickup or on a farm or in that garage wrenching on something. And so it translates with the good music and bringing everybody together each year in August.
I love how we were talking a little bit before we started recording the podcast and how the needle now moves. It's now we're, from 50s, 60s to where are we now?
Well, that's a great question. Like anything, you have to kind of change. You got to evolve a little bit. We first started in the 50s, 60s era, 70s mixed in. We do like to keep the cars, 1979 and older. I think that's going to stay there for a while with the folks are able to work on cars and keep them. They're able to generate parts on the computer. So the younger generation, we're seeing them in CAD machines and computers building parts. So I don't think there's a lack of inventory for the older cars, but it's the music that we're trying to introduce a little bit more so we get the younger crowd involved. We want them involved. We want to protect our history, our nostalgia. That's what we are. But we want to be welcome for everybody, not just the kids, but anybody from any walk of life.
Well, everyone loves classic cars, right?
I hope so. Yeah, that's what we're trying to capture them all.
Okay, so we like to talk about events and things going on, but we like to talk. It's Washoe Life. We like to talk about the people behind these things. So tell us about you, because you, like both of us, are not necessarily native Nevadans, but you've been here a long time.
Yeah, I came in '99 from a Northern California transplant. According to, I guess I'm not a native, according to my wife. But I've been involved in sales and marketing and logistics. And then when I was in Virginia City as a tourism director, special events. So my whole career has kind of been almost geared towards really running Hot August Nights. And kind of a backstory is when I first came to Nevada in 1999, about year 2000, I was working with a company that was working with Raley's and Coca-Cola, who were sponsors, or were sponsors at the time, and working with Hot August Nights. So I got to meet many of the staff and some of the board members here. So my relationship started really in about the year 2000 with Hot August Nights. So as it developed over years, um, we just continue that, and opportunities come around like kickoff up in Virginia City, Old Town, Old Cars. It's been a great match. And then just when a spot opened up, it was kind of like almost kind of natural where I kind of got to come home a little bit. It's like, hey, come run Hot August Nights. Okay.
What a cool legacy, though, Denny. I mean, when you think about it, you said you spent 15 years in travel in
Right.
Virginia City, and
Right.
great crossover. I mean, those are two pretty high-profile, cool jobs.
It was. And then I had a sales background where I was selling sponsorship and talking with a lot of corporate type clients, and then got to learn the marketing side of it. So everything was kind of done. It's kind of brought me to this point.
Was there a learning curve taking this job? Because you've been in this role, what, three-ish years?
This would be my third year.
Yeah. What was the biggest learning curve that you had to adapt to?
There's always I guess probably was the technology. Honestly, Hot August Nights has done a great job of protecting their heritage, but they really didn't upgrade any of the infrastructure. So it's been probably that seeing how far back we were from file cabinets and 3-ring binders and to-do lists on chalkboards to now going into an Oracle NetSuite program and diving all that stuff in there. And that's taken us quite a bit. Probably the other thing that surprised me the most was the amount of volunteers. And working with them as a nonprofit, working with volunteers, and not really something I've done a little bit with individual nonprofits, but nothing on this scale. And so that was probably the couple of the two things that come to mind is some things that I really had to learn how to manage a little bit different, how to keep that volunteer base energized, how to recruit, how to get we all need to get more people and actually we had more people come into the area, so it's been good, but it's still getting that messaging out, and that we have so much to do with Hot August Nights. I don't think it's not just August. That's probably the third thing is it's not in August. We do stuff year round, especially through our foundation where we give back to kids in the community.
Yeah, actually, without going too far on a tangent, but tell us about the foundation.
Foundation is about 10 years old, and it's a way to give back to the community, to help kids that are in need or at risk. And through that, we do several different programs. We've given well over $1 million to Boys and Girls Club, the Katie Grace Foundation, the Eddie House, all these different organizations that we see here in town. We've given them, help support them to support kids. We also do toy drives. We do we give away jackets. We take kids Christmas shopping. We do a big classics and cocktails fundraiser every year where we raise several $100,000, and it's all geared towards giving back to the kids here in the community. And I think that's also a reason why we have such a strong volunteer base, is because folks want to give back. They want to they want to be busy. They want to be able to socialize with some friends, meet new people. But when you can give back, it's kind of like the cherry on top of the cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to go to a day in the life of Denny. You're a week into the event every year.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you? And how do you communicate with everybody?
I don't know if I'm sane or not,
because you got multiple things going on.
We do. We have a lot of things going on, but it's as you gear up for an event this size, it's not something that you just do a month or two before. Seriously, my busiest time is the first week or two after the event. Honestly, from a sponsorship standpoint, people are excited. They're happy. They're like, "Wow, that was so cool." They're ready to deal. And so that's really a good time for me to circle back. I'm wiped out. The team's wiped out. Everybody's looking for some R&R, and we do take a few weeks off. But that time right after the event is generally, there's some good stuff to have with our sponsors and make adjustments, think about it. Then we go into strategy and budget for the next year, start visiting with all of our other partners, and start working on it all over again.
Get back to work.
And this year you really pivoted. You've changed the location. So it's entirely at UNR?
Well, I wouldn't say, Bethany, that I changed the location.
Okay.
Our partner, Grand Sierra, is their new endeavor is $1 billion renovation of their property. That's been our home venue for quite a while. And so that's not available this year. And so in October last year, we had to scramble. And we have a great partner in the university here. And so we reached out to President Sandoval and his upper staff there, and it's like, hey, is this even doable? Would you guys be interested in something like this? And it was welcome with open arms. And it's actually where we started Hot August Nights in 1986.
Oh, wow.
It was called Hamburger Haven
At the
at
university.
the university.
Wow.
So
full
we are
circle.
actually coming back to the university to kick off our 39th year.
And I love that. I mean, I know there's kids up there, but they haven't started back at the semester. So it's
Right. It's
Perfect
almost a perfect timing.
Yeah.
The parking lot's sitting there. We can use it. It'll be an interesting dynamic, but with anytime you move something this large, it's there's always things we have to work through.
Yeah, but new opportunities too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're excited.
It's so funny. We were just talking earlier this morning with some of our team members about UNR really being, well, first of all, is Reno a college town? That was the question. And UNR really being that that component that is bringing the university area and the rest of the city together. And I feel like this is part of that, just really being a partner.
Couldn't agree more. They are a great partner, and I think the more we work together, the better that the Truckee Meadows is for all of us. But we do have to work together. There's so many things, whether it's staffing or it's expenses or just some of the complicated stuff that we're doing with economic development. If we got to work together, we don't want to lose anybody. We want everybody to be able to do business here and enjoy and thrive and grow our community.
Do you have a favorite event?
Well, it's Hot August Nights.
Right. I mean, within Hot August Nights, within the company.
Within Hot August Nights, I don't know if it's an event or not. We have created a few new pieces where we see like the event series where we crown our grand champion. That's the one. I mean, there's only one of these cars that we pick from all these cars that come from all over the country that they actually qualify to come to the finale. So that final day is a lot of fun for me. That's kind of like Christmas Day.
Sure.
Because everything starts. That car becomes the focus of our marketing and then the other category winners do as well. So we get to work with those folks for the next year on with their car and photo shoots and and building our collateral and our content. Yeah, exactly. Each one of these in the office here, and there'll be a new new champion crowned on this year.
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned economic development work and our previous lifetime in the tourism industry. You're still in the tourism industry.
Still am.
You still are, for sure. There is a real economic impact to an event like this. And I think when people see the fun happening, they forget that this is a driver of the economy.
It is. And, we were on a much smaller scale when I was in Virginia City, but I actually did look at what Las Vegas was doing. You think about all the sports and all the entertainment and the activities, the events that they are putting on there. They're driving traffic with that. So we really kind of modeled that in Virginia City. It's like, hey, I'll make it as easy as possible for you as an event promoter to come here. Because I knew that if we did it right, they bring the people, that the people spend money, they pay the taxes on the backside, whether it's, lodging tax or sales tax, whatever. And then we get a portion of that. We can all do it again if we do it right. So now you move in this role, Hot August Nights, it is a monster, and it brings in tremendous impact. And I think I've had good success working with local stakeholders, local leaders on understanding that we all need to work together, because we won't sustain it if we don't keep our expenses down and keep it to where it's we want to give back to the kids, we want to do all this, but we got to pay for it too. And so when you got city expenses or labor, all that stuff, we just got to find ways to get creative so we're not breaking the bank every year.
Now, we are looking in your offices at all these license plates. I know people come from literally everywhere, but do you have in California, but do you have a section of the country, or do they just East, Midwest? Do they Florida? They just migrate?
We've got folks represented from every state throughout the history of Hot August Nights, people that have come to the event. Our biggest portion is Nevada and California. That's no doubt. We're just neighbors. And the southern San Jose market is a big player for us as well. But we're growing. So we're growing in the Northwest. We're growing in Southern California, the Vegas market. So we're seeing more and more folks, as we're able to, with our new system, track a little bit easier where they're all from. We're seeing the demographics from all over the country, and it's great to see that. And it's neat to see the articles written about us. And I think it was USA Today and MSN crowned us as the top 5 and 1 and the top 10 car event in the country.
Wow.
So there's some huge car events, whether it's the Concourse or whether it's the Riddler Award, the Cruising the Coast. Those guys get 10,000 cars, but it's just a big cruise. But to put us in that right there, as we must be doing something right.
For sure. You touched on this, so I want to go back to it just a little bit. How are you going to make this something that can sustain another, what'd you say, 39? How many? 39 years.
39 years.
Another 39 years. What's going to bring my kids to this? What's going to keep it relevant?
Opportunity for them to do something, whether it's something they did as a kid with their parent, their grandparent. But I think we have to adjust. We have to adjust some of the music a little bit. Still rock and roll, have a good beat to it, but doesn't mean we can't play those older songs, but maybe not all of them be a 50s or 60s ballad that kind of a little quiet. We want folks to come, have a good time, have a party atmosphere, but we want them also to bring that car, that project car. Hot August Nights is not about just these $1 million cars on these posters. They're not. It's very, very expensive, but like there's entry level cars that we all had. And when we were in high school, you'd buy this car and you fix it up, you work on it. That's part of the game. That's part of what we are is the blue collar. And matter of fact, our awards committee has worked really hard on creating some extra little awards that we're going to be handing out just for those folks that got those project cars that come back every year and they've made a little improvement and they have a good story, whether it was their grandparents or their neighbor's car or whatever that they are been working on it year after year. But I think it's a combination of just doing a few things. The other thing that we did is we started a vocational scholarship through our foundation. It's called the Youth Automotive Challenge, and through that, kids bring their automotive related science project to us to be judged. So we'll be judging them later this week at the university for folks or for the kids to present to our sponsors where they can win up to $15,000 in vocational scholarships.
Wow. Love it.
That's awesome.
So we're investing in the kids a little bit right now. And I think that's going to answer your question. I think I did, is try to help us ensure our future a little bit more.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What does this event evoke for you? What kind of memory or nostalgia for you personally? Does it take you back to a time?
It does. The same. I thought I was talking about having the memories of being in an old pickup truck with your grandparents or your dad. But I'm starting to kind of get a feel for it. That I see those faces every year, developing the relationships with a lot of folks in the industry, and the word ambassador. I'll use that again. It's just we're just here to build ambassadors. We want to put on a good show, good time. It's not perfect, there's growing pains, there's change that we're having to take on, but I think overall we're doing a pretty good job, and I think it's just, again, it's the people. It's just the people.
Yeah.
And I would, like you say, it's been 3 years for you in this role, but you're probably starting to see and the same people return, and maybe they're bringing their kids or.
Many of the volunteers have been here since they start.
Really?
They have. And so I see them every year. I see Mike up at Virginia City there. Runs a crosswalk every year on that same end. We had Virginia City 2015 was our first year up there. And he's been every year on that crosswalk and been seeing us do a lot of things, a lot of change up there. But it's volunteers, it's the people.
So what's your long-term vision for this?
I want to leave it better than it was. I want to leave it sustainable for the future. I want to leave it with in good hands that are running an event that everybody feels welcome. Everybody feels that they can have a good time. It contributes to the economy, and the stakeholders here in town recognize that. So we could do all that. This thing can last a long, long time.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. What are you looking forward to the most this year?
Probably August 11th. No,
I get that.
Honestly,
I get that.
we work really hard year round. Staff worked so hard leading up to the event. All of our volunteers, our board members, we're all just pushing every year to get this thing up and running. And then it just takes a mind of its own, and it kind of just does it. It's like the horses out of the barn. You just let it go. It's controlled chaos.
Yeah.
But to sit back and just kind of enjoy it. So I think the one thing I've always challenged staff and volunteers is just take a moment. We work so hard take a moment sometime during the event, whether it's when the concert, your favorite song is being played, takes you back for a minute. You see your wife there, go dance. Just take a moment and reflect back on all the hard work, and then just check out, enjoy.
And then snap a picture of your favorite
Snap
car.
a picture of your favorite car. Go for a cruise.
Yeah.
Pull into a drive-in. Just yeah.
So for people who they don't know much about classic cars, they don't know much about the event, but hey, I want to check this out.
Yeah.
What's the best like beginner's advice? Like how do you make it not intimidating for those of us who don't know anything about cars?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I think there's people, they hear about it, they want to come check it out, but there's so many distractions, so many things to go do.
Yeah.
And if you bring a young family out at the wrong time of day, it's hot, right? And you're out there on the blacktop looking at cars. Okay, there's our indoor areas. There's Big Boy's Toy Store, which is really cool. It has classics inside. It has all of our vendors in there. It's air conditioned, and then outside you've got the show and shine. Love our properties too, which is unique. Is that with the car events, is that we have our like casinos that where folks can go in and out and cool off and come back in. So I say really pay attention to the schedule. Our online schedule is very intuitive. It's up to date. You can kind of pick and choose the music you want to listen to, where you want to see it. Check out the cruising. The university will be a lot of fun. That'd be a lot of fun because you can capture a lot of things there.
Yeah. In a small.
Versus in a small venue, yeah. With the cruising coming through, the concert, they have all the vendors there, and then 1,500 cars
Love it.
on the campus.
Sounds amazing. All right. Maybe I'll have to get into cars and then
You don't even have to be in the cars.
You really, and you really don't. I didn't even mention drag racing. I mean, you don't really have to be a car enthusiast to sit and watch the guys drag race or the ladies drag race.
Yeah.
There's so much to do. There's something for the whole family. And there's the youth activities as well.
Well, think about it. You plan like Disneyland, right? And be very mindful and do the same thing.
Exactly. If you plan it out a little bit, you'll get a much more. And don't try and see it all one day. It's just too much. Yeah. Take bites and pieces of it, and just kind of take your time, and it'll pay off.
Now you have us all ready to go.
we're revved up, as
We're
they
revved
say.
up. There you go, Val.
Let's go.
Well, thank you so much. I know we got you. Well, it's busy, and I love seeing people coming in, and they're all excited about it. So thank you for taking time out of your day.
No,
for
ladies,
this.
I appreciate you both, and thank you guys for what you guys do with the.
39 years. Let's go for 39 more.
Let's do it.
All right, Denny, thank you so much. And thank you for joining us. And until then, come out and enjoy this event in Northern Nevada, and also enjoy your Washoe life.